Most men walk into a room and instantly disappear. Not because they're invisible, but because they've got nothing that demands to be noticed. They shrink their voice, avoid eye contact, fidget with their phone like it's a security blanket, and when someone powerful speaks, they smile, nod, and stay quiet, just hoping not to be called out. Here's the brutal truth. You don't command respect by staying safe. You command it by owning space. And no, I'm not talking about fake alpha energy, loud mouths, or that try-hard look-at-me swagger. That's noise. True presence is quiet. It's powerful. It's unshakable. It's the man who doesn't have to speak because the room already feels him. Today, we're diving into what it really takes to walk into any room and own it. Not by being arrogant, but by being anchored. By being a man who knows who the hell he is and doesn't need permission to be it. And if you stick around, I'll drop one unexpected truth near the end that'll flip your mindset and possibly change the way you show up forever. Presence isn't volume, it's voltage. Let's kill the lie right now. Presence is not about being loud, it's about being felt. The men with real presence don't chase attention. They don't dominate with noise. They radiate something different, internal voltage. Think of it like this. A lion doesn't need to roar to prove he's the king. He just walks, and every animal knows. Why? Because he's not pretending. He's embodying. He owns the space without asking for it. Most men, they're running on low voltage. They haven't done the internal work, so they perform, they overtalk, they try to prove. But presence isn't performance, it's alignment. It's when your inner world is so damn dialed in that the outer world adjusts to you. Want to be felt when you walk in? Stop trying to impress and start trying to integrate. Most men don't command, they comply. Look around next time you're in a group of men. Watch closely. Most of them, they're shape-shifting. One guy cracks a joke. They all laugh, even if it wasn't funny. Someone important walks in. They straighten up, suddenly polite. The dominant voice speaks, and they shrink, nod, agree. It's not presence, it's performance. It's not leadership, it's survival. What you're witnessing isn't power, it's social compliance. Men adjusting their tone, opinions, posture, and energy just to not rock the boat. Why? Because deep down, they've been trained to believe that approval is safety, that being liked is more important than being respected, that standing tall might make them a target, and they can't handle the heat. Let me make it simple. If you're checking the vibe before you speak, you're already a follower. Presence has nothing to do with playing it safe. It has everything to do with being grounded in who you are, no matter who's in the room. Think about it. The man who commands attention doesn't need the spotlight. He doesn't flex. He doesn't fake. He doesn't chase permission to exist. He decides, before he even enters the space, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. And no one in here gets to dilute that. And that decision? That's what makes him magnetic. People can feel it. They sense the conviction in his presence, without him needing to say a word. They feel the energy of a man who's not playing chess with his identity. And here's the thing. You don't need to dominate to command. You don't need to be loud to lead. But you do need to stop folding every time the social pressure rises. You do need to stop editing yourself just to fit into environments that aren't even aligned with your purpose. Because every time you bite your tongue to stay safe, every time you nod when you disagree, every time you play small so others feel comfortable, you're sending a message to the room and to yourself. I'm not worthy of being fully expressed. And if that's the vibe you carry, you'll never command a damn thing. Command comes from clarity, and clarity comes from one decision. No matter who's in the room, I stay me. That's the energy people respect. That's the posture of leadership. And that's the shift you've got to make if you want to stop being background noise and start being the presence that shifts the entire frequency of a space. So ask yourself, are you commanding or are you complying? Stillness is strength. We live in a world addicted to movement. Scroll, post, react, repeat. People are twitching, tapping, over-talking, interrupting, desperate to fill space because they can't stand the silence. But here's the twist. Stillness is the loudest flex. Try this. Next time you enter a room, don't rush to speak. Pause, stand still, breathe deep, lock eyes. You'll feel the discomfort rise, yours and theirs. But don't flinch. Own that space like it was built for you. That pause, that calm, that's power. It says, I don't need to perform, I am. And the moment people sense that, you stop being another face in the crowd. You become the one they remember. Your body speaks before you do. Before your mouth opens, your body has already said everything. And here's the thing. Most men, they're broadcasting weakness before they even say hello. Slouched posture, shallow breath, tense jaw, eyes scanning the room like they're waiting for someone to give them permission to exist. It's not just insecurity, it's self-erasure. And people read that energy instantly. We're wired to assess threats, leaders, and liabilities in seconds. So when you walk in like you're hoping not to be noticed, guess what? That's exactly how people treat you. Because the truth is, presence is physical, it's energetic, it's primal. and most men have no idea what their body is saying on their behalf. You want to command respect? Start by standing like you're already worthy of it. Let me break this down. Presence lives in how you move, not how loud you are, not how wide your stance is, but in the intention behind every step. A confident man doesn't rush. He moves with precision. He doesn't fidget or over-explain. His stillness speaks louder than noise. Every gesture is deliberate. Every movement is rooted. Because he knows one thing, the room doesn't validate him. He validates the room with his presence. Here's the mindset shift. You don't enter to survive. You enter to signal. You signal that your time has value. Your word has weight. Your standards are non-negotiable. And your posture, that's your first signature. So fix it. Square your shoulders. Not in arrogance, but in readiness. Lift your chest, not to boast, but to breathe deeply like a man who's not afraid to take up space. Look people in the eye, not as a threat, but as a message. I'm here, I see you, and I'm not shrinking. And don't just walk into a room like you belong. Walk in like you own a piece of it, because every room is a kingdom, and your body is your crown or your chain. You decide which one you wear. Your energy must match your standards. Let me ask you something that most men avoid facing. Why should anyone respect your presence? If you don't, we've got a generation of men begging to be taken seriously. But they show up late, speak without purpose, slouch like victims, and move like they're waiting for permission to lead. They want power, but they carry the energy of passivity. They want respect, but they carry themselves like an afterthought. Let me be crystal clear. Presence isn't about showing up. It's about how and why you show up. If you walk in like you're unsure of your place, don't expect the world to hand you one. This is where it gets real. If your energy doesn't match your standards, you'll never be taken seriously. Because people don't respond to your intentions. They respond to your vibration, and energy doesn't lie. So you can tell yourself you're a man of value, but if you speak in half-formed thoughts, trail off into doubt. Use words like maybe and kinda. You're broadcasting uncertainty, and nobody trusts a man who doesn't trust himself. You want to command respect? Start with self-respect. That means show up early, because your time isn't reactive. Speak with conviction, because your voice carries weight. Move with purpose, because your presence shifts energy. Drop the filler language, because clarity is power. This doesn't mean being robotic. It means being grounded. It means being the kind of man who's disciplined enough to match his standards with his actions. Because guess what? People believe the man whose actions and energy say the same thing. So here's the rule. If you want others to rise to your level, stop lowering your energy to match theirs. Your presence should challenge the room, not conform to it. You don't get respect by demanding it. You get it by becoming the man who no longer needs to ask. Raise your standards. Raise your presence. Raise your life. If this has you uncomfortable, good. It means something in you still wants more. Still believes you've got another gear. This channel isn't for the comfortable. It's for men done pretending, done tolerating mediocrity, done apologizing for their potential. So if that's you, prove it. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below with this statement. My standards are my signal. Because that's what presence really is. A signal to the world, to yourself, to the life you're building. Are you done hiding behind maybe? Or are you ready to step into hell yes? Let's go deeper. The next chapter will shift how you speak without even saying a word. Stop talking, start transmitting. Some men talk, but say nothing. Others speak rarely, but every word lands like a punch. You want presence? You don't need more words. You need more weight behind them. Stop filling silence out of fear. Start letting your energy do the talking. When your words match your values, your message gets heavier. When your values match your actions, your words get sharper. Want people to listen? Make your silence uncomfortable and your speech undeniable. Command doesn't come from talking, it comes from transmitting. Presence is purpose, embodied. Here's the part no one tells you. Not the gurus, not the influencers, not the surface level confidence coaches handing out recycled advice. You can't fake presence long term, because presence isn't a mask, it's a mirror. And if the man behind the mirror has no purpose, no fire, no reason for waking up with blood in his veins, then no amount of posture, eye contact, or breathing techniques will save him. Let's cut the crap. You don't walk into a room with real presence unless you're walking with mission in your bones. Think of the most magnetic men you've ever seen. They weren't loud, they weren't polished, but you felt them. Why? Because they knew where they were going. They weren't wandering, they were building. They weren't seeking approval, they were fulfilling vision. And that vision created gravity. Presence is gravity, and gravity only forms around something dense, real, and alive at the core. You want people to listen when you speak? You want heads to turn when you walk in? Then stop chasing presence like it's a technique, and start building purpose like it's your only option. Because here's the ultimate truth. When you know who you are, when you know what you're building, when you're on fire with mission, you don't need to try to be present. You are the presence. You become the atmosphere, and people will feel it, even before they know your name. Let's bring it home. You've heard the tactics. You've felt the truth. Now it's time to live it. Presence isn't volume. It's voltage. It's not performance. It's purpose. It's not about dominating others. It's about commanding yourself. The way you walk, the way you breathe, the way you listen, the way you hold stillness, all of it is either reinforcing your power or draining it. So the next time you enter a room, ask yourself, am I here to disappear or to disturb the frequency? Am I here to blend in or to set the standard? Am I here to be tolerated or to be felt? You already know the answer. Now live it, because building presence starts where your comfort ends. And remember, don't chase influence. Become the force that others orbit around. You're not here to be noticed. You're here to be unforgettable.